Hello, this is Curtis Crowe, the Photo Pro here with another Lightroom tutorial for you. Today we're going to talk about the new Lightroom 6 Panorama feature. Now, while I was in the Bahamas, I tried to take a picture of this boat, but I couldn't fit in one frame, so I figured I'd just spray it real quick and stitch them together later. When I got back, I heard Lightroom 6 came out, which it all worked out pretty well because then I got to learn how to use the new Panorama feature. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and stitch these together with just a few clicks. So what you do is you get your panorama together first. So we have our 4 images, we select them all, we right click and we go to Photo Merge, and then we go to Panorama. And now it's going to start creating the panorama preview. Now we have 3 options here: spherical, cylindrical, and perspective. So I'm probably just going to stick with spherical, because something with this many hard lines can cause issues if you do perspective. And honestly, I don't even know how to say that word, so I know what the word is, cylindrical, but I can't pronounce it. So we're not even going to use that. We have a bitter hatred for this button right here. If you'd like to try it out yourself, go ahead. And then let's see here, we can try this. I'll select. Let's see what happens here, because I did not click this last time. Did not see much of a difference. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. And I did turn on auto crop from the last time I did it, just because by default it's not on and you get all this white stuff, and I'm going to crop it anyway. So I just go ahead and get rid of it because I don't even want to know what's in the spot that I'm not going to see anyway. So we go ahead and hit merge. And then over here it says creating panorama. Now let me describe a little bit of how this used to work. Back in the day, you had to, if you had Lightroom, and so we're not going that far back in the day, but you'd have to edit your images first to exactly how you wanted them, or don't edit them at all, then put them into Photoshop first, stitch them together by hand, and then export that as like a TIFF or PNG or DNG, and then re-import it into Lightroom, and you'd lose certain information, depending on what extension you did. You lose dynamic range, you wouldn't be able to edit as good, which is why you always usually want to edit it first and then stitch it together. And so now we went ahead and Lightroom finished the stitching process, and voila, we have it here. Now obviously the cropping is not what we want it to be. Oh cool, it still gives us the cropping options. I didn't realize that from the first time. And we're just going to squeeze that on down to something like this. Few clicks of the button and there you go, you have a panorama. No bringing it into Photoshop, no bringing it to another program. And all this is brought to you by the new version of Adobe Lightroom, or the Adobe Lightroom Creative Cloud. Again, this has been Curtis Crowe, the Photo Pro, and as I always do, toodles.